Hey there, Earth explorers. Today, we're going on an incredible journey to our neighboring planet, Mars. Buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the red planet, where things are a little different, but just as fascinating as our own home, Earth. So, grab your space helmets and let's blast off. First, let's talk about what Mars looks like. You might have seen pictures of it glowing red in the night sky. That's because its surface is covered in iron oxide, which is basically rust. Imagine if your bicycle left out in the rain turned red. That's kind of what's happening on Mars. But don't let the color fool you. Mars is a cold desert world, with average temperatures around -80 degrees Fahrenheit. Brr, that's way colder than your freezer. Now, when we think of a planet, we often think of water, right? Water is essential for life here on Earth. We drink it, swim in it, and it helps plants grow. But on Mars, water is a bit of a mystery. Scientists have found signs that there used to be rivers and lakes there, but now most of the water is trapped in ice. Imagine if all the water in your favorite swimming pool suddenly turned into ice cubes. That's Mars. But don't worry, there's still hope. Recent discoveries show that there are salty liquid water lakes hidden beneath its icy surface. So, who knows? Maybe one day Mars could have some form of life too. Speaking of life, let's talk about what it's like to walk on Mars. If you were standing on Mars right now, you'd feel a lot lighter than you do here on Earth. That's because Mars has less gravity. If you weigh 100 pounds here, you'd only weigh about 38 pounds on Mars. Imagine bouncing around like a superhero. You could jump 3 times higher than you can here. It would be like having your very own trampoline park, but without the safety nets. Just be careful not to float away. Now, let's look at Mars's atmosphere. Here on Earth, we have a lovely blanket of air that keeps us warm and helps us breathe. Mars, however, has a very thin atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide, which is not what we breathe. If you were on Mars without a spacesuit, you wouldn't last long at all. It's like trying to breathe underwater. It just won't work. But scientists are studying Mars' atmosphere to learn if it could be changed to support human life. Think about that. One day, we might be able to live there. Mars is also home to the tallest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons. It's about 13.6 miles high. That's nearly 3 times taller than Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth. If you could climb Olympus Mons, you'd be standing on top of a giant mountain that stretches into the sky like a skyscraper. And guess what? It's so big that it could cover the entire state of New Mexico. Talk about a view. But wait, there's more. Mars has the largest canyon in the solar system too, called Valles Marineris. This canyon is about 2,500 miles long and up to 7 miles deep. If you could stand on the edge of this canyon, it would be like looking down into a giant hole that could fit the entire Grand Canyon from Earth. And then some. Imagine the adventures you could have exploring a place like that. Now, let's chat about Martian days. A day on Mars, known as a sol, is just a little longer than a day on Earth. It's about 24 hours and 37 minutes. So if you lived on Mars, you could almost keep your same bedtime. But Mars takes a lot longer to orbit the Sun. A year on Mars is about 687 Earth days. So you'd have to wait almost 2 Earth years to celebrate your birthday on Mars. That's a lot of cake. And what about the Martian seasons? Just like Earth, Mars has seasons because it tilts on its axis. However, because Mars is further from the Sun, its seasons last about twice as long. So if you thought waiting for summer felt long, just imagine waiting for the Martian summer. You'd have plenty of time to plan your Martian picnic. Now, let's talk about the coolest part, the exploration. Humans have sent rovers like Curiosity and Perseverance to Mars. These little robots are like our eyes and ears on the red planet. They drive around, take pictures, and send back all sorts of information. It's like having a robot friend who goes on adventures for you. And guess what? They've even found signs of ancient life. How amazing is that? In the future, we might even send humans to Mars. Imagine being one of the first people to step onto the red soil, planting a flag and saying, "I'm here." You could explore the canyons, climb the volcanoes, and maybe even discover something new. It would be like a real-life space adventure. So why should we care about Mars? Well, learning about Mars helps us understand our own planet better. It teaches us about climate change, geology, and the possibility of life beyond Earth. Plus, it inspires us to dream big and reach for the stars. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be one of the astronauts who goes to Mars, or maybe you'll be the scientist who discovers how to make it habitable. As we wrap up our journey today, remember that Mars isn't just a distant planet. It's a place full of mysteries and wonders waiting to be discovered. So keep looking up at the stars, stay curious, and never stop exploring. The universe is vast, and there's so much more to learn. Until next time, keep dreaming, young explorers.